Okay,
10 out of 10.
we should be back. I really hope that actually played off on stream has how I intended it to cut off.
So
I really
well
hope that
done.
I really hope that I didn't just fucking like that didn't cut off like 10 seconds too early.
Oh, that was so fucking well done, dude. Holy shit.
Although 9 out of 10, the only reason it wasn't 10 out of 10 is because, you know, Candlejack disappears you at.
So just in the event that it didn't line up in time, I said was one of the guys that he was fighting Candlejack, and then I went and hit and I shut the stream off as I said the phrase.
No, that's great commitment to the bit.
That's so well done. Honestly, fucking 10 out of 10. Jesus.
Completely organic, natural.
Oh, yeah, Comey's losing their mind. Okay.
Okay, good. I'm like if stream ends like 10 seconds earlier, I literally cut the stream for no fucking reason. Okay, good. We're back. Cosgrove, not a bastard.
Yeah, no, Cosgrove.
I mean, not a bastard, but also not a cop.
We're getting closer. The closer someone is to being a good cop, they're also coming closer to being a good bastard. The further away they come from being a cop. Unless you're like Chief Wiggum, where you're both a bad cop and still kind of
he's also on the list.
Yeah.
He is indeed.
Yeah, I'm gonna say not a cop.
I'm
Not
also
a
gonna
cop.
say not a cop.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna say not a cop.
All right.
Do you mind if I pick the next character?
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Because he's one that's close to, very specifically, me and Tom's early circle of friends, Inspector Zenigata from Lupin the Third.
I had him on the list as that cop from Lupin the Third because I didn't know what his name was.
Yep. Let me get that image up.
Also, Joe's cosplay of Zenigata is still top tier to me.
I love Lupin the Third. One of our early cosplay groups was in fact Lupin the Third. So going through some old photos, I did not want to show it because I do not want to fucking dox my friend on stream, but I found a photo of me and Chef from 2010 where I'm in my Blues Brothers cosplay smoking a Cuban cigar next to a very tired 2010 era Chef. And like
for context, that was for context, it was the first time I think I went to Otakon, and it was so late, but I was having so much fun hanging out with everybody. The tiredness literally did not hit me until I sat down in that moment.
So I'm just like smoking a cigar, and Chef is sitting there like literally like we also had a fun moment going through old cosplay photos and realized that a lot of friends we had in common also cosplayed from like Killer 7 at the same time, cosplayed from to the point where like I had to genuinely stop and think if I had met Comey in the past while cosplaying Killer 7 at a West Coast con. It is fun to think about, like how it is weird to think about how many paths had crossed, because I had definitely met Choo Choo at some point in the past before joining in streamer space, and when we had that moment of realization, we were like, oh shit.
That's so funny.
Zenigata.
Where does Zenigata
Tell me
fall
about
there?
Zenigata. I don't know much about Zenigata.
The floor is yours, Tom.
Actually, Chef, go take this one. All yours, my friend.
Yeah. So Inspector Zenigata, his life's mission is to try and finally apprehend Lupin and put him in jail. But in doing so, he fucks up so hilariously that he ends up letting Lupin out again. Like literally every single time. Every single time he thinks he has Lupin caught, Lupin escapes. No matter what he does. And it's just it is just a cycle, like a repeating, never-ending cycle of just hilarity.
So what does Lupin do? What are his crimes? Thievery, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Anything
international
else?
Yeah.
Occasionally shooting people.
Occasionally shooting people. Yeah.
Okay.
Lupin,
So
Lupin, I will say this: Lupin is like the archetypical thief with a heart of gold, essentially.
but he does shoot people.
He does shoot people.
They had it coming.
Okay.
They had it coming, though. Yes, absolutely. Oh God, I remember this picture.
Yeah. So this was from Anime Boston 2010, I believe.
Yeah.
This was the best our group has ever looked. Like Lupin is the premier titty man. Like
He is.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
But our friend, our mutual friend, who is actually, we've seen him in chat a couple of times, Joe Jodono, is the best Zenigata because he just has the perfect face for it. He has the perfect build for it. The man is a fucking judo black belt. And out of everyone I have ever met in my life, I fear fighting Joe more than anyone I have ever met because that man could take me apart and put me back together. He is also the most kind human being I have ever met.
Genuinely one of the nicest people. Also the best fucking facial expressions for Zenigata.
Yep.
Very high praise for Joe. But I'm not sold on Zenigata not being a bastard.
Again, if we want to kind of go back into like inefficiency, he's definitely an inefficient cop.
He's incredibly
efficient,
and as R2D2,
we could make the argument that Ralph is an inefficient quote unquote cop, but when he is inefficient, some kids get up to some mischief. There's no real consequence there. Zenigata lets Lupin escape time and time again, and Lupin is a thief and a murderer.
True. R2D2 also does put in the interesting point that he does work with Lupin to apprehend a bigger threat sometimes.
Yes.
That may be true. That does not absolve him, though, in my opinion.
I think I would argue that he's still a bastard, but he's kind of in the gumshoe area of he's a bastard, but his heart's in the right place.
In his world, it's all fun and games, and there's no real consequence. But on the face of it, he does let murderers and thieves slip away time and time again. He is incompetent or self-destructive, self-defeating.
If you get shot by Lupin the Third, you kind of have it coming.
Yeah,
in his world, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you get shot by Fuji Cakes, I'm jealous.
Yes. Yes.
So a little story that something that happened to me that I'll always remember. I might have told this before, but I spent a period of time in Japan for a bit. And Japan, I was right near the Shibuya shopping district where they had all the good nerd shopping and all the arcade games and whatnot. And I had picked up out of an arcade machine a Fujiko figure in a big old box, and I was carrying it home. And somebody from the road, I think they might have been in a car or on a bike or something, but they went by me and they shouted Fujiko at the top of their lungs. And I'll just always remember that.
Did you happen to have a Fujiko? Yeah. Beautiful.
I won a Fujiko toy and they were like, oh, that's awesome.
Oh, they were just
like,
that
maybe,
happy.
Or maybe Fujiko is just something that like they say in the show all the time. I don't know.
Because she's
great.
I'm gonna pull up a quick image here because if you like Lupin, and I feel like this series doesn't get nearly enough love. The Lupin the Third, A Woman Called Fujiko Mine. This was a 13 episode Lupin series relatively recently. I want to say that this was something like 2012. This was like the person who directed Yuri on Ice, Michiko and Hachin. Like, this is such a fucking good Lupin series. It has a very like Redline look to its art style. And I feel like no one really talked about it, but goddamn. If you get a chance, watch this. This is a really good fucking Lupin series, and like no one talked about it when it came out.
I'm gonna have to go watch this because I unfortunately completely forgot this existed.
Can we go from one inspector to the next?
Yes.
Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget. Interesting.
Inspector Gadget.
Immediately the first response that I looked up was, today I learned Inspector Gadget was originally supposed to be Lupin the Third. Inspector Gadget was apparently supposed to be Lupin the Third.
But you may have to unpack that for me.
So you know the gag from Lupin of like the punching glove coming out of the coming out of
the pants. Yeah.
Apparently the first pieces of work on Inspector Gadget were like people were like the team taking stuff from Lupin. It was supposed to be Lupin the Eighth, a futuristic version of Lupin the Third developed for Western audiences. This might be bullshit because I'm learning about this.
This kind of sounds like it might be bullshit.
But
citation needed.
I will need to do a little bit more work into this. Inspector Gadget was conceived as a way to recoup costs when Lupin the Seventh, a planned futuristic spin-off of the Japanese franchise Lupin the Third, failed to get off the ground.
Oh wow.
So if we're believing this, it's not that Inspector Gadget became or was meant to be. It's that one thing failed and another thing succeeded.
They scrapped stuff from it and put it into that.
Almost as if they rebuilt him.
Inspector Gadget is literally a RoboCop Zenigata.
Yeah.
So my verdict here is bastard by means of incompetence, but also he's kind of a little shit. Like he thinks very highly of himself. He calls himself the world's greatest inspector. He's grossly incompetent. And it's his niece that actually does all the work.
Yeah. And the dog.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's literally Penny and Brain who solve all the mysteries for him.
Yeah, it is only by Penny and Brain's good nature that he is not, unemployed.
And Penny and Brain are basically the cop versions of the Scooby-Doo gang.
Oh God.
I don't think that Penny and Brain are cops.
They come close. But I mean, look at this. Literally the first image that we look up is, there's the badge right there.
True.
Yeah, I'm sure he shows that off all the time.
Cannot wait to show that he's a cop.
But also there's another level to this because he's a danger to himself and others through means of gross incompetence and also technical malfunction. He is a walking weapon that does not operate correctly.
He's literally the opposite spectrum of RoboCop.
He is.
Yes, just brutally inefficient.
Shit, if we had this planned out better, we could have bookended with RoboCop to start and Inspector Gadget to end, and it would have thematically worked out perfectly.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I mean, who's to say that we can't do that? We've been going for about 2.5 hours, haven't we?
2 hours.
2 hours.
We have a lot more on the list. This is going to end up being a multi-part stream. I think this is one we can come back and revisit, especially with Yoda not being...
With better internet connection.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Ray brings up a really good point that, because like when you think about it, Penny is a 10-year-old girl and Brain is a fucking dog. So this might be a situation where like they think they need to be detectives, they think they need to do good. And are,
I mean, I get what you're saying.
They don't know the system that they're supporting.
I get what you're saying in that it is not a 10-year-old girl and a dog's responsibility to take care of international crime syndicates.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like they do that for like the sake of the chief or the organization. They do that for the sake of their uncle, which they love.
True. Yeah, okay. I'm reneging my Penny and Brain cop.
Like
Cartoon
all the
Cat-
things that they do, they don't want fame. They don't want to take any credit for what they do. They do it because they want to help their uncle.
Oh.
Both with,
Ooh, that's a good
saving
point.
his life all the time and also making sure that he has a job.
Christy has some interesting takes here. Cartoon Gadget is not, live action is.
I mean, I'll agree to that because the live action Inspector Gadget is fucking horrifying.
Also, like a lot of cops, Matthew Broderick has killed a kid.
Yeah.
I ain't letting you fucking go. Listen to me,
Yeah,
Ferris
yeah,
Bueller.
yeah.
I'm not letting that one go, you drunk driving piece of shit.
Yeah, huh? Incredible. Incredible.
We have a lot more dead kids on this stream than well, it's cops, so I really shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we went through the gamut of dead dogs, dead kids.
Do you think Carl Winslow and Inspector Gadget would be friends? Because I think that Carl Winslow and Inspector Gadget would be friends.
Oh my good God in heaven.
I feel like Inspector Gadget would be racist, vaguely.
I think Inspector Gadget would be one of those people who wouldn't. I think he would be racist, but like not because he came up with it, but because he kept listening to like Fox News and just parodying shit.
I don't think
Yes.
that. I think that he would be like vaguely racist because I cannot remember in the Inspector Gadget cartoon that there was ever a person that was like black or I just think that he lives in a gentrified neighborhood.
There have been people of color on Inspector Gadget, and it's not good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Also, Christy, I don't know if you were here earlier for it, but we went through the theory of Carl Winslow, of Steve
The
Urkel
Winslow
being
verse.
the Winslow verse of Urkel being the ghost of the kid Carl Winslow shot in Die Hard, torturing him forever.
I'm very invested in the Winslow verse.
Yeah.
I am too.
I want to know more about the Winslow verse, honestly. That sounds fun.
Yeah. I feel like we could do this with other actors too. Just like taking the roles that they've played and kind of like connecting them.
So, oh my God. So, a literal 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Where in Winslow's case, it's lots of bacon.
Six degrees.
He likes bacon.
6 degrees of Twinkies.
6 degrees of cookies. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's bring up another one because we started with RoboCop.
Sure.
Let's talk about the T-1000.
The T-1000.
The thing is he a cop?
Okay, he mimics a cop, but the T-1000 itself, I don't think is, because the T-1000 is literally just sentient nanometal.
He's kind of like in a RoboCop situation where he has a directive. The directive is to kill that kid. Again.
On Connor.
Skynet is robotic cops. So
is it though? What is Skynet? What does that do?
Sentient
Literally
AI.
kills the human race.
It's basically.
Well, no, I know that, but like, why was it invented? Why did they make it?
Originally, Skynet. In universe, Skynet was created to unify. What's it called? Unify military defensive measures, so that communication be made easier.
Okay, so just like worldwide cops.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you put it that way.
Yeah. So Skynet is definitely ACAB. If Skynet is controlling the T-1000, then the T-1000 is by extension ACAB.
Future Skynet created the T-1000. Yeah.
I will give T-1000 one thing. And that is.
Oh, Sin seems to have some thoughts on this.
Okay.
After you're done with your thoughts, Tom.
Yeah, by all means. He did kill a cop. Like he landed in the past, and the first thing he did was just stab a cop. Which, you know what? Yeah, cool. But then you take his place and take his
well, it wasn't for any
uniform.
altruistic reason that he did that.
Yeah, but he could have, I don't know, maybe found someone else, copied them. Like, he doesn't have to kill them in order to take their
Well,
stuff.
who else would he have copied? Like a chef?
Arnold Schwarzenegger? I don't know. Like, and anyone, literally anyone else.
Maybe did he like choose a cop because they were an authority figure?
Might have. I don't know. He killed the cop, and that's cool. That's all I'm trying to say here. Ray, what you got?
I'm just saying that was incidental.
Maybe, but it still happened.
I mean, it did still happen, and that was still cool.
He's still he's still a bastard. You know.
Yeah, it doesn't make him less bastard.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Go.
Oh God, yes. I wish you could see and watch me cracking my knuckles right now because I'm about to go.
If the T-1000 has even a shred of the ire from you that the Paw Patrol dog got.
Oh no. I mean, this is unfortunately going to be a very technical analysis. It's gonna be much more boring than what I talked about earlier. Him killing. You got to go ahead and take the place of somebody, right? And if you're going to go ahead and take the place of society, and if you were an artificial intelligence, you would go ahead and be like, hey, what's the most demanding position of authority that's like not too overt and that's easy to go ahead and slip yourself into? Like, no, I'll be honest, the cops don't give a shit if like one of their own goes away or fucks off or whatnot. The cops aren't keeping track of their own. They really don't. If it was an FBI agent, like, they'd be like, oh, well, this is actually kind of weird. We have a whole fucking file on them. Cops, the only thing the cops know about other cops is when the fuck they take their coffee break. You can go ahead and kill a cop and rip his fucking mustache off and slap it on your own fucking face and have a different fucking skin complexion, and you'll go ahead and pass that cop for fucking 3 weeks.
So also, you're saying by assuming that position, he became faceless.
He killed the cop so he could be a worse cop.
I also think that maybe the T-1000 like landed as someone was playing Die Hard on the TV, and he saw the scene with Carl Winslow talking about shooting a 9-year-old and still getting to keep his job, and said, well, if I have to kill a 9-year-old and get away with it, might as well take the form of a cop.
And he'll still keep his job.
Like, here's the thing about him taking a position as a cop. Like, he knows that he can just go ahead and do whatever the fuck he wants because of the fact that now he's in the position of a cop. So, this is one of those douchebags that becomes a cop because they go ahead and just wants to go ahead and exude power, even though he can just do it on his own or whatever. But he gets plausible deniability now while exuding this power. He wanted to be a cop because he could just go ahead and fuck around as a cop.
Ray, do you think the Paw Patrol had plausible deniability?
That was rough, Tom.
I'm gonna go ahead and let me just get some whiskey right here. Hold on a moment.
There it is, folks. The most clever thing I've said all fucking night.
Honestly, that was both really good and it kind of kills me. But no,
much like cops.
This is just like one of those things where artificial intelligence basically took a look around, did like a quick Google search, like, how can I get away with what I'm going to do in my mission while possibly having to do like so much damage / end of lifing. It's like, oh, a cop is perfectly acceptable to do this in. So this is one of those guys I was like, oh damn, Punisher's cool. I want to become a cop now. Literally, that's what this is. He could have chosen anybody to meld into society with, but he was like, nope, cop.
He said,
"Let me get away with all this."
So does it matter if he does not? You're putting a lot of emotion behind this, but remember, this is an emotionless machine that only cares about carrying out the prime directive. Does it matter that he can't feel this smug satisfaction and is only taking the most optimal route?
Paul, I'm so sorry that you went ahead and said that cops have emotions, feelings, humanity right here. Like, really, honestly, that's where all this really, like, honestly, now I'm crying tears for sadness for you at the end of the day. Like, you actually looked at me, was like, cops have emotions. I'm like,
No, but you were making it like this cop had emotions.
Oh, no, he doesn't. But that's why he's like the perfect cop.
Got a point. he looked and he said he scoured the internet and he's like he was like, I need to kill. He
literally was like, the perfect role for me to execute killing is a cop. I don't need.
He said I need to
fucking thoughts about it.
He said I need to efficiently kill a 9-year-old. My choices
and Carl
are
Winslow's not around.
And Carl Winslow's not around, so he said my choices are either to do this most efficiently or either cop or John Landis.
Yeah, cop. Yeah, and Chris Benoit's already dead probably at this timeline at this stage of life. So, you know.
Right.
I'm not letting you off the hook for that one, John Landis, either. Killed 2 fucking kids with a helicopter.
But yeah, no, AI perfectly thought that like the most emotionless being that's capable of killing and doesn't give a fuck about anything was a cop. Therefore,
and nobody seems to notice either.
And no one notices, by the way. This man looks like Derek Chauvin.
Fuck, he does.
Oh my god, you're right.
He looks like a hybrid of Derek Chauvin and Darren Wilson. That's kind of like the weird thing about this too. Like, they just literally did the fusion dance, and it was the fucking T-1000.
You know what? Let's have a fun one. Let's have a fun one. One that I know we're gonna agree on.
I like how I was invited on here momentarily. It was like me playing Marvel Rivals for everybody else. No fun allowed.
Oh no, because I was looking through to pick the next one, and I saw a very good one.
Oh, should I stay here for this, or?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay.
Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
I mean, technically not a cop because he's a judge.
Yep.
I was about to say, he's judge, jury, and executioner.
Right.
I don't know, because at the same time, here's the thing: Metro City is the most fucking more corrupt than Gotham. And when you look at the fucking kill count, Judge Dredd has killed a lot of other cops too. He has fought more cops.
He's a judge doing the job of a cop.
He has fought more corrupt other judges outside of the system than.
This is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like shit. I think Dredd might not be ACAB. I think the judge system fully ACAB.
Like
Judge Dredd himself, I don't know if it's ACAB.
So I'm not caught up on Judge Dredd. Can you refresh me? Because I know he's the law.
Yeah,
He is the law.
I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not fully capable of telling you, like even 1/20th of Judge Dredd law. I can definitely say though, without a doubt, that in the very minuscule law that I have ever took in with Judge Dredd,
right?
Yeah, this guy doesn't give a shit who you are in terms of his common rank or his superiors. He'll fuck you up.
So what makes him go after you? Is it like if you break the rules, he goes after you?
Breaking the law.
It's quite literally breaking the law. But it's also one of those things where like I feel like cops are honestly, they're the biggest pussies I have ever seen in my fucking life. Like they're the ones who are like, not all cops are bad, but it's like that same scenario is like, well, why don't you tell on the bad ones? Like, I'm scared. And like, this guy's like the exact opposite, like, oh, I'll tell on you and then I'll shoot you in the head. Like, that's the kind of cop, that's like the kind of person that Dredd is. And that's the only thing I know about Dredd. That's it.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's really close. Dredd is pretty much a hard line cop who, if you break the law, he will come after you. But he also applies that to other fellow judges and the system itself. So I think just by nature of fighting the system, Dredd might break
Dredd-
the ACAB.
Is he
Yeah,
fighting
yeah,
the system or is he fighting for the system? Because it seems like he's very much about the law is the law, and in every case there is no gray. It's either black or white. Either you're okay or I kill you.
That's the thing about it. Like, it is one of those things where it's like, oh, you're doing something illegal. That's it. Fuck you. But if he sees like cops doing something that are illegal for cops to do, that would be illegal for cops to do, it's like, all right, fuck you too. So it's kind of like, it's really weird because it's a very big yin and yang on this.
He's fighting the system because the system is corrupt, just like the system is corrupt in real life.
So he's rooting out corruption through murder.
Exactly.
Yes.
I would say then that he's not actually a cop.
He also does show leniency to like innocent victims. So like if
He does.
like by the way, if you have no idea, if you haven't followed anything with Judge Dredd, just watch Dredd. Just watch this movie, the one that I have the poster up for right here.
The one
This is
Dredd
actually-
3D.
It is one of my all-time fucking favorite movies. It is a perfect. Don't watch the Sylvester Stallone one.
The ending of that, oh my god, you can
It's so
jerk off to
fucking
that
good.
movie. You can jerk
so
off to
good.
the ending of that movie, honestly.
I have literally watched this on New Year's Eve. Done one of those things where it's like set the timer, start the movie at this time, and you see the Death Star blow up at midnight. I did this. I set this up to get the final crescendo of the finale of this movie.
This is a complicated masturbation ritual.
You want to know what's a complicated masturbation ritual? I watched this and fucking Drive with Ryan Gosling within hours of each other, and
you
I'm
had the
just like,
best night of your life.
yeah, no, I was just like, do I go to a hospital with this fucking erection? Like, what the fuck am I doing here right now? Like, this is crazy.
You put on some Nightwave and you drive into the night jacking.
Oh god, I wish.
But yeah, watch Dredd. Dredd is a really good movie.
That's very good.
And if you've ever seen the movie The Raid, it's basically an NA version of that. Which also watch The Raid. The Raid's a really good movie. The Raid's a really good movie. I want to say that's a Thai. Hold on,
Huh?
Let me actually pull it. I'm trying to remember the Raid Redemption. Getting where Indonesian. The Raid is a Indonesian action film that is also really fucking good. Highly recommend. Watch both these movies. They're some of the best like action you will see in a film fucking ever. Ray, do you want to throw one on the list that you haven't seen yet?
Fuck. Damn. Being put on the spot. Throw one of yours on there. Give me like 5 minutes. I'll think of one. I promise you.
All right. Bell, go right ahead.
Let's see. Let's take a look at the list here. We did a lot of these. Oh, Officer Jenny.
Oh,
for Pokemon, Officer Jenny. Huh.
Officer Jenny. All right. How do we feel? How do we feel about Officer Jenny?
Huh.
I feel like she hasn't done anything that's bastard-like. Like, in this world, she, like, stops people who are stealing Pokemon. They have partner Pokemon, but, like, everyone in the world has partner Pokemon. Like, the hospitals, you could probably go to, like, a fucking accountant, and he'd have, like, a partner Pokemon.
How many
I
trainers?
would say not a bastard.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question here because I watched a lot of Pokemon growing up. Has Officer Jenny done anything?
I know a perfect one after you're done. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. What do you mean, has Officer Jenny done anything?
Have they? Team Rocket is still running rampant. I mean, they're ineffective, but they're still running rampant.
Well, yeah, but Officer Jenny caught them. And then they escaped somehow.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I mean,
she's-
Christie's got it. ACAB, all
So-
cops are Jenny in this world. Yes, all cops are Jenny.
So let me just say this, that like in the terms of the worlds of lethality, like the world of Pokemon's a 1 world of lethality and Batman's world is like a 10. Pokemon's a 1. Officer Jenny's the Batman and all the fucking villains, and by all the villains I mean all 2 of them. I'm sorry, 3. I don't want yeah, sorry, I'm not going to diminish your fucking achievements here in this world. Yeah, yeah, that's it. This is like polar opposite Batman, but Jenny is like the only officer in the fucking world, and it's not actually a vigilante, but an actual officer.
I remember getting really high one time, and when I like one of the things I scribbled to myself was because anytime I get high, I like to write stuff in my Hobonichi because I will think of some funny things later on. And I wrote that Jesse and James are the most trans couple of all time, and that remains one of the most true things I've ever thought up.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this, by the way, and I feel like between with Jenny and Lynch, I feel like those 2 are the least likely to call me the N-word out of the people on the list. I'm gonna go ahead and waive her in the not bastard role as far as that. I feel like I feel like, especially because it's a kid's cartoon, and like, yeah, I mean, I don't think Pokemon was trying to go ahead and indulge in fucking propaganda, but I feel like, she was doing what she needed to do.
Officer Jenny kind of has a minor role in things. She's the one that kind of like cleans up afterwards,
I feel like I feel like she has actual morals at the end of the day, like fucking Lynch.
Does anyone, I don't know why that just triggered my memory of this, but does anyone else remember the I think it was like the Electric Tail of Pikachu, the Pokemon comic.
The manga? Yeah.
Yeah, where for some reason they made despite it being a manga for kids, every single girl in that was caked the fuck up, and they just put Jenny in fucking fishnets for some reason.
So the person who makes that manga actually does do a lot of adult work too.
Not surprised.
Not surprised in the least. Have you seen the female designs? Dear God in heaven.
I remember my parents buying me that because I was 9 and Pokemon had just come out, and then they looked at them, they're like, "We accidentally get them the adult."
Yeah, all the girls in the manga are caked up, except for there are some censored versions where it's where
they put a bigger swimsuit.
They made
on.
it for kids. Yeah.
All right, they changed the swimsuit on Misty to make it a little bigger, which good, okay, but then they put her sisters out, and her sisters were caked up like a fucking bakery.
Yup.
I mean, you can only do so much.
Listen, I know there have been a lot of talk about here about which Pokemon girl is your favorite, and I've heard cases for Sabrina, great. I've heard cases for Misty, I've heard cases for May. Misty's sisters, y'all sleeping. Y'all are sleeping on Misty's sisters right there.
I was never invited to these debates, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I literally never got my fucking invitation in mail, email, carrier pigeon, nowhere.
Pidgey.
So you're having these meeting of the minds without us, and I appreciate
messages,
that.
live journal, fucking direct messages, nowhere. Yeah, I never got a Google Calendar invite. Where the fuck?
It's okay. They don't think that we're smart enough to handle the discourse.
Bro, not even in anything in my Yahoo mail. What the fuck is happening here? Crazy.
Carrier Pidgey, by the way.
Carrier Pidgey.
Oh my goodness.
Officer Jenny, not a bastard. No real opportunity to be
it would be, you would have to I'll be perfectly honest, you would have to go ahead and hire a fucking 10-man legal team to figure that out to make her a bastard. It'd be crazy. And I'm not about that work. I told you I'd give you 5 minutes. I gave you 5 minutes. I popped mine right there in your DMs.
Okay, let's take
What do we got?
Let's take a quick peek.
And honestly, this is going to be a great discussion, I feel like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a great discussion.
All right.
Because even on this one, I don't even know. In my opinion, I don't even know.
Let me see if I can find a better image. We're going to be talking about a fucking good one.
That's
Jet Black from Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, Jet. Okay. All right. This is a good one. Holy fuck.
Okay,
yeah,
I don't remember anything
Yes.
about this guy, so I'm a good objective middle of the road viewpoint.
This is one where even I'm conflicted, and I'll be perfectly honest. I'm gonna let you guys tell me if this guy's a bastard. This guy was originally a cop.
Yeah, he was.
He was. Before
But he's not a cop anymore.
He's not a cop anymore. Like when the series when you actually get introduced to this character in the series, he's not a cop. He was a cop in the past, though. And you
So we're going back in time to when he was a cop.
The great thing about Cowboy Bebop is like every character's backstory gets fucking like analyzed, and it's actually very good. And this one's actually very good. And he gets two important stories in this. And the reason why, and like he gets two stories, and these two stories are like, oh, he's a cop, and the other one's like, oh, he's not a cop. And it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird because both stories are like cop, pro cop, anti cop.
So tell us what he was like when he was a cop.
When he was a cop, literally the slogan was he was like the or something like alongside the black dog that bites and never lets go.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Like he would literally hunt down criminals and suspects and like never give up when other officers on the ISSP, the Intersolar System Police, would long give up the chase. Jet would be the one who would keep on going until they were captured.
And like even with that, like based on these two stories, it's kind of like weird because one of the stories that you get introduced to that goes into his backstory is that he gets reacquainted with his ex-girlfriend that at one point in time left him because he was kind of like, oh, I know everything and like that. Like not in a sense of like abusiveness or like anything like that, but it's like kind of one of those things where it's like one of those things where he felt like he knew everything. So this is how like everything should go. So it's not like an abusive thing, but it's kind of like, okay, but like, why don't you get some input? Like kind of like that. So let's not, because cops are normally abusive. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. I feel like I should just go ahead and reflect on that.
40% of the 40% of the stories with Jet end up being, non-abusive.
The other 60.
Google 40% cops if you want to.
I knew where that was going.
Amazing.
But like at the end of the day, that story, because like the new boyfriend of said ex-girlfriend, like literally just murdered someone that was going to severely harm said woman or whatnot. So like it's like one of those things where you could have been like, okay, well, you protected her, good on you. You could just like let him go. Or you can fly a fucking jet after this guy and like capture him and then turn him into the police. He turned him into the police. Kind of a fucking pro cop move. And kind of dumb as shit. Which is why you're kind of like, okay, yeah. Terrible pro cop.
So my stance on it is that if,
but apparently his rationale at the end of the episode, like he'll get off with a self-defense plea. You don't know that the justice system fucking sucks. At least in America, it sucks. I don't know what it is with the ISSB.
Maybe it's better in space.
Maybe it is better in space. Maybe he knows something that we don't.
Yeah.
Whatever. But you kind of threw him to the cops for doing something kind of righteous. Whatever. Pro cop move right there.
Oh, so the guy that he's chasing was like, it was understandable what he did, right?
It was understandable what he did because like if he didn't do anything to defend what was Jet's ex-girlfriend, severely hurt or even worse.
He turned in a guy who was who beat up a wife beater, basically.
I see.
And
yeah, that does sound coppish.
Yeah.
However, to the other side of Jet's character, he eventually does leave the ISSP entirely because of blatant corruption that he witnessed within its ranks. That's why he stopped being a cop and became a bounty hunter.
That, and alongside the second story in the episode, where it's like, hey, this one guy you turned in, who is a deadly assassin, like by all rights and means,
Yes.
deserves to go to jail. Like deserve to go to jail and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So like apparently the prison ship in space that was like transporting him, like all the prisoners got all, like got free, murdered everybody there. So it's like, hey, like his ex-partner was like, hey, the guy you turned in is like, he's free now in that ship. We got to go ahead and like, recapture it or whatnot. But like the reason why that was is because that cop was a true bastard and actually was the reason why his arm is the way that his arm is.
Yes.
And like eventually like it all comes to terms and everything like that, like, and that's why like the corruption that he saw and everything like that, why he left, it sunk in even to his partner. And it kind of like you see his personality for what it is. You see that he's not like truly like a soulless cop. You see that he actually has like character, and that's why he left. But it's kind of weird because like both of those stories happen within episodes of each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, bro, are you a cop or you're not a cop? But at the same time, like, the man's a bounty hunter now. Like, obviously, like his current profession is not a cop. But it's like, do you have cop in you? Because you literally turned in like
I feel like a lot of people have
up.
cop in them. Like a lot of people have the potential to be cop.
I feel like the more time you spend around Spike, your bastardness gets like absorbed into Spike and then converted from bastard derogatory to bastard complimentary.
Yes.
Spike is a bastard filtration system.
He is. Absolutely is.
Like the expression like the bad apple spoils the bunch. Spike is the opposite of that. Spike is the bad apple that's converting all the the good
takes
apple.
all the rot inside.
It's changing all the rotted apples back to good ones.
Because like in my mind, I want to be like, this guy's like completely cleansed of bastard, but like you turned in, like, why did you turn in that dude? Like, if you never turned him in, if you were to just be like, oh shit, I suddenly became blind for like 10 seconds, you go do what you need to do. Like, it would have been like, damn, bastard, gone, like completely. But like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you may not be a complete bastard, but there's some bastard in you. Like, there is some in there.
It's still a little cop in you yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's why I'm
is
like,
this Schrodinger's bastard is what we've got here?
I think it may be Schrodinger's bastard. You're gonna carry that bastard.
I mean, if we're looking at him as he is now, he's not exhibiting bastard behavior. The fact that he exhibited bastard behavior in the past is everyone makes mistakes.
But
some people make big mistakes.
Like, that's the thing. I'm fully willing to admit that if we had to do this on a percentage value basis, the guy is majorly not a bastard. He really, like, at the end of the day, like, the balance between bastard and non-bastard would weigh heavily into the non-bastard variety. But there's still some in him.
He has the potential.
Yep.
And like, as a black guy, I can't trust that shit. Like, it's kind of like one of those things where like, this guy, like one of a reformed racist or whatever that said the N-word all the time is like, all right, well, I'm hanging around with this guy, but like one day he's just going to turn around and say the N-word. Like, it's just going to happen
if
one
it
day.
makes you feel any better, he was part of a system and decided to leave that system for a system being a bounty hunter, which is opposed to the legal system. So I don't know
I get
if
that,
he
but
could go back. I feel like that door's closed.
Oh, I get that, but like both of those stories I'm talking about was during the days of him being a bounty hunter. Like, that's when he this, like, everything that happens to Cowboy Bebop is post him leaving the ISSB. Like, like Cowboy Bebop starts with him not being in the ISSB.
Yes.
Then I think we've got a question mark here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I said this was going to be weird.
Honestly, I feel like the phrase Schrodinger's bastard really does apply here.
Because if he's not doing anything bastard-like, we can't really say he's a bastard,
Yeah. Because he's already left. He's already left the police force.
Like, how long does he have to pay for that, right?
Yeah, because he's already left the police force by the time Cowboy Bebop starts.
Yeah, and that's what I get. I totally get that. But like, he had a moment of activity, like just one. And granted, it was one moment, and yeah, I don't think like a lot of like extravagant stories can happen like years after that. But he had that one moment where he became a bastard, like turned that guy, and it's like
you could say not bastard, but he's still not trustworthy. Like, that's a valid response.
Yeah, like, yeah, I guess you could say that. Like, you got to go ahead and like keep all out, you know, just like that whole the whole theme of the first episode in the Toonami commercials, keep all eyes open and whatnot. But,
yeah. Or maybe it's like he's on probation, like bastard probation.
Maybe honestly, bastard probation. Bastard probation actually sounds like a good fucking premise.
That sounds like a good category for him.
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like honestly, bastard probation. Yeah,
Bastard
you know
probation could be like the name of Cowboy Bebop if they didn't go with that.
Oh my God, yeah, actually.
Yeah, I am all about people owning their mistakes and becoming better people, so I'm leaning towards bastard probation.
Also, fun fact, Cowboy Bebop is the only reason why I know how to sing Ave Maria.
Nice.
Also, if anyone's ever heard Ray
God.
actually like trained and did like voice work and stuff to like actually like sing. So if you ever
Yeah,
get the
that's
chance
crazy.
to go to karaoke with Ray, do it.
Ray's singing voice is fucking top tier. I'm just gonna say it.
Jet is a bastard but not because of his former life as a cop. All cowboys are Bebop. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh my God, Christy.
All right. As we're kind of winding down here, I think we have time for 2 to 3 more. I have 2 in mind. I have
All
one
right,
that I want to end on.
I'm glad I brought that up one.
That was a
because
fantastic.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I was like, it was just like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I could get one.
I didn't
That
even
was a very
fucking
good
think
one.
of that, and you fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Are there
Yeah,
any
I mean, if we're
chat
talking
would like-
former cops, that's like, you know, that opens up the door.
I mean, former cops, but there were some traits after a former cop, you know, being a
Yeah.
former cop.
Are there any suggestions from chat that we haven't covered yet that you would? I know Christy had a couple, and I didn't write them down because I was stupid. I know Dale Cooper was one of them.
Taking requests from the audience.
We definitely have to make this a reoccurring segment. This was actually a lot of fun.
Eddie Valiant, who's actually on the
Yep.
list.
Okay, Eddie Valiant from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Let me pull that up.
Ooh,
Oh, that actually is really cool.
that's a very good one, honestly. Yeah.
I have one that's so obscure that no one would ever think about it. So maybe we'll do a stream about it. When
I don't know. I'm
yet
old,
again.
so it might be on the list.
So, Eddie Valiant, played by Mario himself, Bob Hoskins.
Bob
from Who Framed
Hoskins.
Roger Rabbit.
Yep.
All right, let's hear people's thoughts.
So,
I do not think. I think because he fought a judge, I'm gonna go out. He's outside of the system, and
I feel like he has an
You know,
arc in this movie.
It's kind of weird because a person with a tie like that and wears suspenders like that goofy, I would imagine him saying racial slurs, but like I feel like this is the last person that would say a racial slur. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of weird.
So
like-
I'm gonna put forth that Eddie Valiant is a guy that's going through a hard time because he was not brought up in like a cop environment. He used to be part of like a traveling circus or involved in like clowning with his brother. So he had like that sort of carefree, humorous lifestyle until his brother got killed. And then after that, he became hard, he became serious, he didn't have a sense of humor. And I feel like it was then that he fell into like a hard-boiled, you know, I don't give a shit detective kind of person.
Mhm.
But then near the end, you know, he has that whole thing where he gets set up to take the photos of Roger's wife playing patty cake with Marvin Acme. and he does not. He doesn't really feel a bad way about that. Like that is. What do you guys think? Like that seems like kind of a dirty job that he took. You know, it's not really, because I know that there are detectives who do that. Like if somebody's like suspecting their spouse of cheating, then they can like hire a PI.
Those are definitely more like those are more PIs than detectives. I know it's a
private investigator. Yeah,
it's drawing the line, but
that is a.
I mean, I would say that if he was a bastard when he found out that he was set up to take those photos, he probably wouldn't care because the job is already done and he was already paid. If he was a bastard, he wouldn't have went through all the Marvin Acme last will and testament stuff to save Toontown. I don't think a bastard would have done that.
Yeah.
Again, fighting the system. I think I don't personally. I don't think he's a bastard. But I also don't think he's much of a cop either. Definitely more of a PI.
I can't even think of even if I wanted to go ahead and be like the devil's advocate in this, I can't really like think of anything off the top of my head.
And again, kills a judge.
Kills a judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he start out racist towards Toons?
He did. He says he doesn't.
He did.
At the very beginning of the movie,
very beginning.
He hates working with Toons. He doesn't trust Toons, etc., etc. But by the end, loves them.
And that's not really racism. That's his trauma speaking because his brother was killed by a Toon.
Yes.
That
was born of trauma and losing a family member.
Yeah. I'm gonna say not bastard.
So Gur, what's up? Thank you for the raid, buddy.
Hey, Gur.
Oh, it's fantastic seeing Gur at PAX. Welcome in, everyone. We are currently we have been going through a list of characters and deciding if they are covered under ACAB or not. And
does
right
ACAB
now,
include ...
Yep. So we just did the detective from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and we have a couple of we have two more that we're gonna go through tonight. We currently went through so far. I think our list of non-bastards are Dale Cooper, Judge
Did
Dredd.
we say Ralph was not a bastard along with Cosgrove?
Cosgrove, not a bastard.
Well, Cosgrove isn't a cop. It's like he's kind of exempt.
Yeah.
Ralph.
He's a cop cosplayer. Like Chrissy Noam is cosplaying as whatever the fuck she wears.
Yeah.
Jet, I believe we also
and
was not.
Jet Black from Cowboy Bebop.
Jet was like Schrodinger's bastard. We couldn't come to a conclusion.
Jet, we were like, not a cop, but you're on probation because of the one incident. Yeah, it's like one of. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's move on to our next of two, and that would of course be. And again, this one's gonna hurt a little bit, because if there's people who know me know that there's few things in the world I care a whole lot about.
Oh no, Tom.
And Thunder Thighs are top of that list. Is Chun-Li ACAB? ACAB, by the way, for people who may not know, is all cops are bastards.
Huh.
Chun-Li
Chun-Li is a police officer, isn't she?
She works for Interpol specifically, yes. She is a member of Interpol. That has been part of her lore since day one.
So what does Interpol do?
So you know the movie
It's
Team
International
America World
Police, right?
You know the movie Team America World Police? Imagine that, but with less big dicks.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to do
Jill. I think I won't do that.
We forgot to do stars. I think that was the question mark Christy had put in. Dale Cooper, Jill Valentine, and Caitlin.
Oh, Jill Valentine.
This one's kind of weird.
I'll stop that one real quick. Jill and Chris Redfield both exempt from ACAB, because they both left stars like immediately after.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say this outright in regards to Chun-Li, but at the same time, I guess like could with her story, never had to actually do it. Never fought against the police.
True.
Like never had a good reason to fight against them, but also never fought against them.
Like, what has she done? The only thing I know her for is like street fighting in the street.
Yeah,
I mean,
apparently
fought against Shadowloo, but like, while she fought against Shadowloo, everyone also fought against Shadowloo.
yeah, I feel like
It doesn't make her special.
Yeah, like fucking Lily fucking fights against Shadowloo, and she's a fucking annoying teenager. Who else fought against Shadowloo? Dan Hibiki fought against Shadowloo.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Also, Belarus, because you asked earlier, Interpol, what they do is they pool the resources and data of police and law enforcement investigations across countries. So if a criminal tries to flee from one country to another, Interpol will aid in the investigation of and the extradition of that criminal.
I see.
Yeah.
I feel like if a criminal is fleeing the country for something, they had to have done something pretty serious. This isn't petty vandalism.
True.
Well, I mean, it's M. Bison.
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
I feel like the
where
people
crime
that are
for him
fleeing
was
the country.
I mean,
Yeah.
crime for him was a Tuesday, though, so.
Well, he's got enough bison dollars to buy his way out.
I love you, Raul Julia. I'm so sorry you had to pass.
Rest in peace, yeah. But I feel like by virtue of the fact that the criminals that they are chasing are going to be, people who have to flee the country, drug dealers, crime lords, human traffickers.
I feel like Chun-Li only isn't a bastard because she never had to go ahead and test herself against someone who's like, hey, should you annoy someone for fucking jaywalking? Or, hey, that person's just fucking grilling in a park. You want to go ahead and harass them? I feel like Chun-Li was just always set up on like higher things that like
things that actually
things that are actually quite
do
literally important. And like me, just like if I had to piss in a bush somewhere, whatnot, outside of like it's just like she doesn't have to deal with nothing unimportant. I feel like everything that we know about her is just like, oh shit, fucking worldwide crime syndicate. A-okay to work on that.
And
like,
we
that's
can't
like
rate her
weird
bastard
thing.
based on how we think she'd respond, right?
Like we
That's-
we literally have never had her tested with like a minority just walking down the streets like, should I harass him?
Right, we don't know.
Oh my god.
Like Chun-Li has never had I don't think Chun-Li's ever had the minority test. And the weird thing about it is like you can't really say that like, oh well, she fought minorities. Like, yeah, she had to fight everybody, like in fucking Street Fighter. So it's like you can't really just like go ahead and say, well, she just fought fucking minority. Like, that's not what we're talking about.
Wait, hang on.
We're
I think
talking
I might have something. So she has fought Shadowloo along with a whole bunch of other people, right? And some of those people are from Japan, right? And she has never had any tension with those people, to my recollection. Ergo, I do not think that she is racist. Because Chun-Li is from China. This awkward silence is going on for a long time.
Why is that chest booby pocket so big?
It's a really big.
I'm sorry. I was listening to you, but I was also focused on the chest, on the
am I
titty
saying
pocket.
something bad here?
No, you weren't saying anything bad. I was really just focused on the titty pocket.
I was thinking. I'm trying in my mind to word a joke idea into that involves Evo Moment 37 and firing multiple kicks into a cop firing multiple bullets in situations in the past, and I don't think that there's a way I can make this joke one.
Okay,
terrible
well,
on-screen.
it's a good thing that I didn't say something bad and you all instead just decided to completely
No, I almost
stop
thought of
paying
something
attention.
I almost said something far worse. Is what
Okay.
I'm trying to say.
Can I do like a quick 15-second artist critique on this picture you're showing, because
Yes,
it's
by all
actually
means.
two
Yeah.
things. One, Chun-Li perfectly presents the arm to only cover one of her two titties to show the full titty pocket.
Mhm.
Very, very, very well done. Good form right there. Also, the other hand where she's resting it, literally not on her hip, but resting on her back buttocks. It's not on her hip, which means that there is
And
a
gun.
big badunkadunk back there.
She thick.
Yeah,
It's also on the
that's
gun.
great.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it's actually just past the gun. Is it on the gun or?
Is
It's
this-
half and half.
Is this AI?
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah, I
very
mean,
well might be. I am not vetting
This
images.
says AI to me.
All right. I
It
just
very
wanna-
well might be AI. It
Can I-
is
can I also-
Pinterest.
Can I also just ask, there's no room in the titty pocket to hold anything. Why even have a pocket there?
Yeah.
The titty is taking up the entirety of the pocket.
Listen,
maybe the pocket
Belle,
is for the titty.
Well, the titty is malleable though.
right now my goal more than anything is to not put porn. I don't put safe search on my Google searches. So
Because we like to live dangerously.
if the titty ain't out, I am fine.
What I'm saying is we need to put Chun-Li in front of some minorities that are just minding their own business.
Yeah.
I mean, we
need to
have it in
figure out
Third
how to
Impact
do
with
that.
Sean.
I'm leaning towards it would not do anything because again, she's worked closely with Japanese people.
She does win the matchup against Sean in Third Strike though, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all
Her
we all
winning a
know
match
how-
isn't. Come on.
no, in other words, she has the advantage over the teenage black kid. Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hmm.
The jury might be out on that one.
Look,
I don't
all-
think she's
all of-
inherently
Yeah.
She's not showing any signs, is what I'm saying, but we still don't know.
I don't think she's full ACAB. I think she's ACAB quarter circle AC quarter circle AB.
Quarterback circle.
Amazing.
Oh, we literally started off with RoboCop.
We
RoboCop
started
was the
off with
first.
RoboCop.
And we've determined that RoboCop, the property, not ACAB. RoboCop is still a cop at the end. Even after breaking the programming, Murphy was a cop before and is still a cop now.
Is the Ed 209 a cop?
Yeah, because
I feel like he's not really a cop though.
He's still programmed.
No, because they use the brain. They use the brain of a fucking psychopathic criminal as its base.
True.
Like he clearly shows throughout the movie that he has no loyalty towards the police structure. Definitely bastard, but I don't think cop.
Like I said, they use the brain of a drug dealer inside Ed 209 for it. So
Yeah, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea.
Because again,
And
like we said
yeah.
before, Paul Verhoeven was just too subtle. So we had to bring on Frank Miller.
they had to. bring
Who's your
Frank
last
Miller.
one, Tom?
Our last one, because as we all know, we've had a really good stream here tonight, and I think we've all learned a lot of things.
Oh, we gotta go ahead and put it down
But-
the dumper.
But
Oh my God! Here we fucking go.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
one,
Oh,
there's just one more thing.
just one more.
Just
thing.
one more thing.
Just one
Just
more
one more
thing. Is
Okay.
Columbo ACAB?
I'm gonna go ahead and just say outright, I know nothing of the series. I know nothing of the work. I don't know much of anything that he says in the show. As a college kid, I worked at Best Buy in the media and video game department, and every old person that wanted a DVD of this series was annoying. So bastard.
You can't blame Columbo for that.
I can blame boomers for Columbo. I'm joking. Obviously. I'm not going to go ahead and say that Columbo's a fucking bastard or not. But I will say that
Some
all
Columbo
of his
fans.
all of his boomer fucking fans are fucking bastards. All of them. Every single old person that collected retirement that walked into the Bayshore Best Buy between the years of 2001 up until 2005 that asked me for Columbo, me, a black guy, probably the only black guy in media, that asked for it and was mad when they didn't have the particular season in stock and wanted to speak to their manager because apparently, and yeah, no, this happened 4 fucking times. Yes, I remember this. Fuck you, every old person there. I hope your home in Bright Waters has burnt down by now, and if not, please send me your address. I will burn that shit down right now. You're bastards. You're all fucking bastards. Fuck you. I hate all of you. Every single one. God, I hope you're not alive right now, and I hope your kids aren't alive right now. God, fuck all of you. You are the worst. Okay, there are bad fandoms, but if old TV fandoms were bad, all of you old people that liked Columbo, that just fucking went after church and just probably wanted the Columbo DVD before you went to fucking Applebee's, because I know you guys are fans of Applebee's, the worst fucking commercial chain restaurant ever. Like, fuck you. I hope
All
you all
apples
fucking
are
burn in
bees.
hell.
Oh, apples are bees.
Fuck you. I hate you. I hate you. I don't hate Columbo. Columbo's probably a very nice person. And honestly, but you are all the fucking worst. Also, you probably hated MASH too.
I love
I'm
the
glad
streams.
Ray is okay with me and not mad at me.
I love the streams where we get to let Ray just go off the chain on
Best Buy
on
sucks. Fuck you, Best Buy.
I don't know what I would do if I was on the receiving end of that. I don't know what I would do. I feel like I would just freeze up and then melt.
Just die. Just like combust on the spot.
Yeah, I feel like those are power words that they all come together and I just die.
So,
You may have killed somebody as if chanting a spell.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, go to Chili's. Chili's ribs are awesome, and Chili's has slightly seasoned fajitas. Not great. Not great by any Mexican standards. But like if you were in a food desert and you just want a fajita, go to fucking Chili's. Like
Chili's.
they put a little bit of pepper on their fucking fajitas. Like
yeah, missing some Chili's ribs right now too.
Pepper won't kill you, Janice. Eat some fucking pepper.
When I was in Atlanta for work earlier this month, I ordered some lemon pepper joints, and they give you the option to bring extra seasoning, and I'm like, I always go for the option of extra seasoning because I'm so used to food being bland. I made a fucking mistake because I forgot that Atlanta knows how to season their goddamn food.
Mm-hmm.
It was great, but it was definitely like, I'm like, I need 3 bottles of water right now.
You know what other series that these people liked that I just didn't give a shit about? And we should probably include that in the next one. Magnum P.I. Magnum P.I. also fucking sucked.
Oh, yeah.
Like, go look at he drove a Ferrari. Look at a Countach. A Lamborghini Countach was better than that fucking Ferrari. Fuck you for liking that guy too.
So
what about Matlock?
Oh, fuck him.
I mean, Matlock was okay. Like, he was thrifty and everything like that. Solved whatever he needed to get, whatever problem he needed to get out of with like the minuscule tools. They didn't like that.
MacGyver.
They didn't like that. Oh wait, that was MacGyver?
That was
Matlock
MacGyver.
was just the old guy.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. They didn't like MacGyver. Like, they didn't like any of them either. They just only liked the lump.
What were the people who came in and asked for I Love Lucy like?
Honestly, the sweetest old people ever.
Like sweet old ladies.
Yeah, like sweet old ladies. And like sometimes sweet old ladies were by themselves, or they had husbands that were actually nice. They actually were very nice. And I'm like, oh, I remember. I'm like, I watched that show on Nick at Night at times. Like, and I talked with them for 5 minutes and I gave them a DVD and they went. Like, nicest people ever.
I worked at a Barnes & Noble for years. I can confirm anybody who came into the video section asking for I Love Lucy DVDs were some of the nicest people I met that day.
That and Golden Girls.
Yes.
My mom loves those shows, and she's a golden, nice soul.
Golden Girls is
Gilmore-
fucking great.
Gilmore Girls. No one actually asked me about Gilmore Girls. That's a weird thing.
I get asked
But,
about Gilmore Girls a lot because apparently I live in the part of Connecticut that like Gilmore Girls took place in. So it's like, oh my god, you're near Danbury? Is that where like the Gilmore Girls was? I'm like, I couldn't. If you put a gun to my head and asked me to name both of the Gilmore Girls, I'm assuming there's only 2 of them, but there could be more. I would be dead.
Yeah, but Columbo made me want right one.
Columbo's in this picture. Like, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
All right, so we'll do Columbo real quick, just because I do unfortunately have to hop onto something.
Yeah, I'm biased. I'll bias. I'll shut up now.
Columbo, I don't believe Columbo's a bastard because I think bastard cops are the ones who jump the gun the most often, make bad judgment calls, support the system. Columbo is very methodical in every step that he does, and he knows what the fuck he's doing. He will never accidentally shoot a kid because he was
Columbo does not accuse. He does not act until he has everything prepared. It's like the entire episode is him loading his revolver, and he does not pull the trigger until he is sure.
Columbo does the one thing that no other cop, real or fictional, will do. He thinks before he acts.
Columbo, not a bastard.
Not a bastard.
And with that, I think this has been a very successful stream, and man, I think this could be a reoccurring segment if people would like
there
to
are
see
still
more.
so many more cops.
We have like half the fucking list that we didn't go through. We didn't even talk.
Yes.
We didn't even
I
talk
was
about the
to say, Tom,
Zootopia
we are gonna need a
motherfuckers.
part 2. We are gonna need a part 2. Holy shit.
We are.
Yeah, we
absolutely
didn't
going to
talk
need a
about
part 2.
Chief Wiggum. We didn't talk about Judy Hopps. We didn't even talk about Bulk and Skull from the Power Rangers.
I can't wait to get on a list with you somewhere.
Me neither.
Oh, we're going on a list probably.
Oh, we are. If we're not already on a list, I'd be amazed.
So I think we're gonna send the love over to Komi, who was hanging out earlier in chat.
Yeah, they are.
Ray, what do we have tomorrow?
So Loco and me are gonna go ahead and we're gonna bully the children. We're gonna do a ranked climb of Marvel Rivals tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
We have had a record of playing like 26 matches and only losing 4 of them in ranked. So we're gonna see how far we can go ahead and if children go ahead and get sad, fuck them. I don't fucking care about the kids. Fucking kids.
Kids have to get sad so that they can appreciate being happy.
I'll kick them kids off the fucking barrels on a bridge along with their Paw Patrol puppies. Fuck them.
Let's go.
Anyone have anything that they want to plug before we go?
This Friday, I'll be back on the solo channel, and we're gonna be running through the Shadowbringers Alliance raids, which I've heard are very fun.
They are indeed. I will be potentially joining for that.
Oh wait, so you beat Shadowbringers?
I beat the main story of Shadowbringers.
Oh, good. Then I'm glad that we can go ahead and agree that Emmett Selk is the best person ever.
Yep.
I understand why people love Murder Grandpa now. Yes, I understand it.
Bell, anything you want to plug?
Throughout the month of May, I'll be doing art streams. I've already done one, which was pretty successful. They're character design streams, where I take 2 characters and mush them together into what I think they would look like. And then also next Wednesday, I'll be introducing Ralphie to Oxygen Not Included, which is a very complex base management simulator where you have all your little dudes and you have to make sure that they can breathe and eat and work and build and all that kind of stuff.
I've lurked on a few of those streams. That game looks incredibly busy, but also incredibly fun.
It's a game where you can take your time and plan because you can pause and kind of look at how things are going, see how much food they're eating, what kind of resources you need, and it's very fun.
All right, and with that, we will send you off. Give sure to give Comey some love when you get to their channel, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everybody. Catch you all later.
Everybody.
This is a certified hood classic.